My name is Lisa Marie Peterson, and I'm 48 years old. This past February, I experienced something unimaginable. I died on a hospital floor for 22 minutes. For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to being an oncology nurse at a bustling hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina. My life had always been normal, even predictable. It was just my husband, Mark, our teenage son, Josh, and me. Our lives revolved around Josh's soccer schedule, managing the mortgage, and squeezing in a date night once a month. I found myself praying, though mostly out of habit, little prayers whispered in the car on my way to work, quick invocations for my patients. I believed in God, yet he felt as distant as a grandfather living in another country. I considered myself a good person, kind-hearted, diligent, and devoted to my family. I never imagined that something like this could happen to me. That day felt like any other Tuesday, bustling with activity in the unit. I vividly recall assisting an elderly gentleman named Robert with his pain medication. As I wrapped up, I realized I was already 30 minutes late for my lunch break. As I stepped into the break room, I grabbed a cup of stale coffee, savoring the familiar routine. But then, an unexpected sensation began to creep in. My right hand started to tingle. It was an odd, prickling feeling that surged up my arm, catching me off guard. I thought to myself, that's strange. Suddenly, an overwhelming pressure crashed down on my chest, as if an elephant had taken a seat right on top of me. I struggled to breathe, unable to utter a single sound to call for help. My knees gave way beneath me. All I could focus on was the ridiculous argument I had with Josh that morning over his video games. I had stormed out of the house, my anger still simmering. It felt so trivial, so utterly pointless. As my head met the floor, a solitary tear slipped down my cheek in silence. I'm sorry, Josh. Then everything faded to black. But it wasn't sleep. It was a cessation. The pain disappeared, and the weight on my chest lifted. The cacophony of the hospital, the beeping machines, the overhead announcements, softened into a gentle hum before dissolving into complete silence. I felt a gentle tug, a soft lift that beckoned me upward. As I opened my eyes, a rush of astonishment filled me, yet I realized I wasn't even breathing. I was floating, suspended near the ceiling, gazing down below. There, on the floor, lay my own body. My friend Megan, another nurse, burst into the room, her voice filled with urgency as she shouted my name. Lisa! Oh my God, Lisa! In an instant, I watched her drop to her knees and begin chest compressions. The scene felt surreal. As a nurse, I had performed this life-saving procedure countless times, yet witnessing it unfold in such a frantic moment was unlike anything I had experienced before. I had always been the one shouting, "Get the crash cart." But now, I found myself on the receiving end of that urgent call. Strangely, I felt no fear, no panic, just an unsettling sense of calm that enveloped me. I observed as they wheeled the cart into the room, my heart steady as they placed the pads on my chest. I heard the machine powering up, and then someone shouted, "Clear." In that moment, I watched my own body convulse as if I were a spectator in a somber film. A profound wave of love washed over me for my coworkers, who were fiercely battling to save my life. I felt a deep love for my husband, who would soon receive a call. I felt an overwhelming affection for my son, Josh. Yet, strangely, I no longer recognized the body lying on the floor as my own. I felt lighter, as if I had shed a heavy weight. In that moment, I was more authentically myself than I had ever been. Then I felt another tug, a more powerful one this time. The break room, my friends, even my own body began to dissolve, slipping away like a dream that vanishes the moment you wake. I turned, and suddenly, I found myself no longer in the hospital. I found myself enveloped in a deep, velvety darkness, but it wasn't the kind that instills fear. Instead, it was a comforting and peaceful darkness, a serene sanctuary. In that stillness, I sensed that I was waiting. I wasn't sure for what, but my soul felt utterly at ease. In the distance, a tiny speck of light caught my eye, reminiscent of a solitary star twinkling in the night sky. As I focused on it, the light began to expand, not merely growing larger, but seemingly moving closer. Perhaps it was approaching me, or maybe I was drawn toward it. The light intensified, growing brighter and brighter. Yet it never hurt my eyes. Instead, it enveloped me in a warm, golden white glow that felt vibrant and alive. It was as if love itself had taken form. As it drew nearer, I could sense it washing over me, an incredible and overwhelming sensation of being utterly and completely known. Every mistake I ever made, every secret thought, every hidden shame, it all came to light, and in that illumination, everything felt all right. I wasn't merely accepted, I was truly cherished. As the light enveloped me, it began to take shape, transforming into the figure of a man. At first, his face was a blur to me, obscured by an overwhelming brightness that felt akin to gazing directly at the sun. Yet, this light was different. It wasn't searing or harsh. Instead, it radiated a vibrant, living energy. He was draped in a simple robe of dazzling white, enhancing the ethereal quality of his presence. His hair was dark, cascading down to his shoulders, but it was his eyes that truly captivated me. When he finally turned to look at me, I felt an undeniable certainty wash over me. There was no room for doubt it was Jesus. His eyes weren't simply blue or brown. They were a deep, shimmering pool of liquid love. They witnessed every version of myself that I had ever been, as well as the person I was destined to become. He didn't need to utter a single word. I simply understood. Tears began to stream down my face, but they weren't tears of sorrow. They were tears of unfiltered, overwhelming joy, a release of all that I had carried for so long. I felt like a child who had wandered through a bustling store for what felt like hours, only to finally spot her father. When he smiled, it was as if the entire universe joined in his joy. His voice wasn't merely a sound that reached my ears. It resonated deep within me. It was a sensation that enveloped my entire being, a profound sense of peace, a deep-rooted truth, and an undeniable strength, all intertwined into one harmonious experience. "Welcome, Lisa," he said gently. "Embrace this peace." In that moment, tears streamed down my face. I sank to my knees, not out of obligation, but because every fiber of my being yearned to surrender to that overwhelming feeling. I felt an overwhelming sense of unworthiness wash over me. As I stood there, I couldn't help but notice the faded, worn-out nursing scrubs clinging to my body on that floor. Memories flooded my mind, moments when I hurried through my prayers, the times I hastily judged a patient, and the instances when I was short with my husband. Each recollection weighed heavily on my heart, reminding me of my imperfections. He extended his hand, and a gentle glow emanated from it. Though he never made contact, I could still feel his presence enveloping me. "I don't see the scrubs, my child," he said, his voice tender and soothing, mending the fragments of my soul I hadn't even realized were fractured. "I see your heart. I see the love you offered when no one was watching. I see the tears you shed for strangers. I truly see you." As I looked up at him, all the shame I carried simply melted away. In its place blossomed a love so profound, so absolute. Words failed to capture the essence of that moment. We existed together in a realm of perfect love, where time seemed irrelevant, whether it lasted a fleeting minute or stretched into 1,000 years. In that space, time simply vanished. Then, his expression shifted, becoming more serious yet still brimming with love. He gazed at me with a profound, knowing sadness. "There are things you need to witness," he said. things you must share with them. The world has created new deities. They worship stars, but not the stars I set in the heavens. They idolize men and women of fame and wealth, their hearts drifting further away from me. Suddenly, the stunning surroundings transformed, as if we were standing on a balcony that offered a breathtaking view of the world below. Before my eyes, images began to flicker like scenes on a colossal screen. "I'm about to reveal something that may be difficult to witness," he said, his voice steady yet urgent. "This is not just a warning. It's a call to prayer. Many of the idols that the world reveres are in grave peril, and their time is running out. The year 2025 will usher in a period of profound upheaval." The first image that flashed before my eyes was of a man I recognized immediately. He was a musician, a rock star, celebrated across the globe. I could see him on a grand stage, surrounded by tens of thousands of fans, all shouting his name and raising their phones like tiny flickering candles in the night. The adoration enveloped him like a powerful wave, and he absorbed it completely. Yet, in a moment of revelation, Jesus allowed me to peer beyond the facade of the stage. What I discovered was the man's heart, a vast, hollow cavern, devoid of warmth. I envisioned him isolated within a sprawling, cold mansion, surrounded by emptiness. I gazed at the bottles of pills neatly arranged on his marble countertop. Each one seemed to echo the faces of those he had used and cast aside. Despite having millions of adoring fans, he was hauntingly, desperately alone. He had become a prisoner of the very fame he had painstakingly constructed. "He has been bestowed with a remarkable gift," Jesus said, his voice heavy with sorrow. His music had the potential to illuminate the world, yet he chose instead to glorify darkness and himself. His pride has erected a towering wall, so high that he can no longer hear my call. "Pray for him, Lisa," I urged. "His hourglass is nearly empty." A profound ache settled in my soul for this man. I had watched him on television, believing he had it all, yet it became clear that he possessed nothing of true value. As the scene shifted, my gaze fell upon a woman. She was an actress, celebrated for her delightful comedies, earning the affectionate title of America's sweetheart. Her laughter had the power to illuminate any room, and her smile radiated authenticity, captivating audiences on talk shows. The world adored her, and families cherished her presence. Before we continue, just one request. Please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep going. But then Jesus drew back the curtain. I caught a glimpse of her in her car, parked in a dimly lit garage, consumed by tears. Her sobs were deep and guttural, echoing a profound despair that seemed to emanate from the very depths of her being. Though she was surrounded by people who were paid to be her friends, her soul ached for genuine love, a piece of solace that remained elusive. She would flash a radiant smile for the cameras, only to return home and shatter into a million pieces. "She brings laughter to the world," Jesus whispered gently, "yet her own heart is in ruins. The world admires her for the facade she wears, but no one truly knows the person she hides beneath the surface. She is exhausted, utterly drained. In the silence that follows the spotlight, she clings to the painful illusion that her life holds no value. Ask them to pray for her. Remind them that the love they seek, the kind that people like her yearn for, can only be discovered within me." Tears streamed down my face as the realization hit me with undeniable clarity. We elevate these individuals to lofty pedestals, scrutinizing their every action. We yearn to emulate them, yet they are, at their core, just people lost souls, adrift in a vast ocean of adoration that offers no real salvation. Then he introduced me to a third individual. This one stood apart from the rest. He was a man of extraordinary power and wealth, a tech billionaire whose innovations were reshaping the world. People hailed him as a genius, a true visionary. He took to the stage, passionately discussing the vision of a brighter future and the role of technology in saving humanity. His confidence was palpable, his brilliance undeniable, and his presence commanding. Yet, behind the scenes, Jesus revealed a different side of him, one marked by a chilling detachment in his interactions with family and a relentless ruthlessness in his dealings with business rivals. He didn't believe in God. He believed in himself. He was convinced that his wealth could solve any problem, even the ultimate one: death. I watched as he poured billions of dollars into projects aimed at extending his life, attempting to outsmart the very fate that God had ordained for every human being. "This particular pride weighs heavily on my heart," Jesus said, and I could sense the sorrow in his voice. He yearns to elevate himself to the status of a god. With his riches, he constructs towers of Babel, believing he can ascend to heaven on his own terms. He possesses a mind crafted for the service of humanity, yet he has chosen to wield it solely for his own benefit. His foundation, precarious and unstable, is built on shifting sands, and a storm is brewing this year that will sweep it all away. When he finally stands before me, all his wealth will crumble to nothing, reduced to mere dust. The visions began to fade, and once again, I found myself standing before Jesus. My heart felt heavy with the weight of everything I had witnessed. Words eluded me as I struggled to find my voice. "Why?" I whispered, my voice trembling. "Why are you showing me this? I'm nobody. I'm just a nurse." He gazed at me, and the love reflected in his eyes was truly overwhelming. "You have a gentle heart, Lisa," he said, "and you can see the pain that often hides behind smiles. I'm not sharing this with you for the sake of gossip or to fuel speculation for headlines. I present this to you as a sign, a call for my people to awaken," he said, his voice imbued with a gentle urgency. "When these figures fall, the world will tremble. But my children must remain steadfast and unshaken. Do not place your trust in celebrities, politicians, or billionaires. They are but mortals, mere dust in the grand scheme of existence. Instead, place your faith solely in me. Their passing will not be a tragedy. For some, it will be a mercy. For others, a judgment. Yet for all, it serves as an invitation to turn away from the fading stars of this world and to gaze upon the Creator of the stars in the heavens. The message isn't about who will die," he said, his gaze cutting through me like a blade. "The real message is that everyone will. The clock is ticking for each and every one of us. Urge them to stop chasing after the wind. Encourage them to cease their worship of flesh and blood idols who will inevitably crumble into dust." I finally understood. It wasn't about the celebrities at all. It was about us. It was about where we placed our hope. A profound sense of peace washed over me, one I had never experienced before. In that moment, I felt truly at home. This was where I was meant to be. The mere thought of returning to that loud, painful, and fractured world was simply unbearable. "Please," I pleaded, my voice trembling as the words caught in my throat. "Please let me stay. I don't want to go back. I'm so tired. Please, Lord, grant me the chance to remain here with you." He smiled, though it was tinged with sadness. He understood the depths of my heart. "My dear child," he said, "your love for your family is truly beautiful. Mark and Josh still need you. Your journey isn't over yet." He stepped closer, his gaze steady. "There are other patients who require your care, not just for their bodies, but for their souls as well. You have witnessed the truth, and now it is your turn to shine as a beacon in a world shrouded in darkness. You will become my hands and feet, spreading my peace to those gripped by fear. The path ahead will not be easy. There will be those who refuse to believe you. They may label you as crazy, but deep down, you will understand the truth. And I will stand by your side, unwavering and steadfast." The mere thought of leaving him, of walking away from this perfect love, brings forth the deepest anguish I have ever experienced. It felt like a deep rift had opened in my soul. I sobbed, reluctant to leave. "It's only for a little while," he reassured me, his voice a tender promise. "Go and tell them I love them. Let them know I am waiting." With a gentle touch, he pressed his hand to my forehead. A surge of radiant warmth enveloped me, coursing through my very being. And then, in an instant, I was plummeting. The tranquility that had cradled me vanished, replaced by a jarring, violent impact. I gasped, a desperate, ragged inhalation that seared my lungs. The first sensation that hit me was pain, a relentless agony in my chest, as if I had been struck by a powerful horse. The break room lights blazed overhead, their brightness almost overwhelming. The familiar antiseptic scent of the hospital, a smell I had grown accustomed to, now felt sharp and repulsive. I could hear someone calling my name, their voice cutting through the haze. "She's back. She's back. We have a pulse." I looked up to see Megan's face hovering above me, tears cascading down her cheeks. "Lisa. Lisa, can you hear me?" she called out, her voice trembling with urgency. My own eyes brimmed with tears, but this time they were tears of sorrow. I had just stepped away from heaven. I had just walked away from him, and as I tried to speak, all that escaped my lips was a strangled sound, like the crack of a horse crop. The room around me began to spin, a dizzying blur of chaos. I felt an overwhelming weight pressing down on me, so heavy, as if I were trapped once more in this broken body. Before I knew it, they were rushing me to the emergency room and then swiftly transferring me to the ICU. I found myself in the role of the patient. The doctors informed me that I had experienced a massive, sudden cardiac arrest. They revealed that I had been clinically dead for 22 minutes. Despite their thorough investigations, they couldn't provide an explanation. They conducted every test imaginable, yet astonishingly, there was no lasting damage to my heart or brain, something they deemed impossible after being deprived of oxygen for such an extended period. They dubbed it a medical miracle. My cardiologist, Dr. Evans, couldn't stop shaking his head as he glanced between my chart and me. "I can't explain this, Lisa," he said, a mix of disbelief and awe in his voice. "Someone up there must really be looking out for you." I offered a faint smile, wishing he could truly understand. The days spent in the hospital felt like a hazy dream. My husband, Mark, remained steadfast by my side, his hand clasping mine tightly, his face marked by a fear I had never witnessed before. Then Josh entered the room, his eyes swollen and red, revealing the weight of his worry. He wrapped his arms around me, holding me tightly. "I'm sorry about the fight, Mom," he whispered softly. As I embraced him, tears streamed down my face. "It doesn't matter, sweetheart," I reassured him. "None of it matters. Only love." My life has changed now. I returned to work, back to my unit, ready to embrace this new chapter. But I am no longer the same nurse. When I step into a patient's room now, I don't merely see a chart and a diagnosis. I see a soul, a precious, eternal soul cherished by God. I take their hands in mine and pray for them, not out of routine, but with a passionate fire burning in my heart. I share with them a truth that this world cannot provide. Some gaze at me as if I've lost my mind, while others find their eyes welling up with tears. Fear grips them, and they lean in closer, for they understand that my words come not from a textbook, but from a deeper place. I speak from experience. My prayers have transformed over time. No longer do I simply ask for things. Instead, I engage in a conversation with him. I've come to realize that he isn't distant at all. He's right here, closer than my very breath. So I'm sharing with you what he has asked me to convey. What I witnessed firsthand was nothing short of extraordinary. Heaven exists, Jesus is real, and his love for you surpasses anything you could ever fathom. However, our time on this earth is fleeting, each moment precious and limited. So I must pose a crucial question. Who are you choosing to worship? What stars do you find yourself looking up to? Is it a singer, an actor, a politician, or perhaps a billionaire? Maybe it's your career, your bank account, or your personal achievements that capture your admiration. I've witnessed it firsthand. All those things are ultimately just dust in the wind. They cannot save you. They cannot grant you peace. They cannot love you in return. With a heart full of love, he urged me to share this warning. Turn your gaze away from the fleeting idols of this world. Many of them are crumbling, and he wishes for you to avoid their downfall. If you find yourself questioning the existence of God, wondering whether he sees you or hears your prayers, let me share something profound with you. As someone who has experienced his presence, I can assure you that he does. He is waiting for you, and his love for you is unwavering. That's the essence of the message. It's that simple, and it's undeniably true.